What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies. Tonight, I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert D.
Hello.
I have just one.
Yo, what's happening?
And I have Mr. Skullface.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to continue with the collection critiques. You know the routine, check your feelings at the door. There's no place for them here. And we'll start with Joe M. And Joe Mama. We're starting with Joe Mama. The first picture you can see, he's got these custom made shelves. And they're not awful in their functionality, how they're laid out. I almost think he's got these statues on the upper shelf that you can tell. I think they might need to go on the lower shelf, even though they're not as impressive, and you need to do risers on the shelf with the toys on them.
I think you need to put that black backing on all of it.
Yes, I agree with that too. And you probably need to paint the wood underneath black also while you're at it.
Yeah.
He's got super impressive figures here. They are spaced out.
Yep.
They are all just standing there.
Yeah.
Like they've been time stopped. And the vertical space is messed up. Like it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you spent so much money, man.
Well, and he's also he's put time into this display also. Like this is not a thrown together bullshit display. It's just not.
It needs a little more time.
It's just not quite where it needs to be yet. Like I was gonna say, the vertical space is an issue, but it's because he's got all this space to account for the combiners. But obviously, most of his collection is not combiners, so he needs to figure out a way to get some of those other pieces just up.
It's crazy for how much vertical space he has. It almost makes this look like a Legends collection.
I know, I know,
which is crazy.
I had that question. I said, "Is that Legends Zeta Superion there?" I really thought that. And what this is, and listen, man, if you're going to have this kind of spacing on your shelves, you owe it to yourself to basically do a really well-perspective background and get some real, like, get the foam game going, get painting, and put things on different levels.
That's
you
true.
have the room for it.
I think if he did, like, a diorama, even if he did, like, the classic Transformers Canyon, fight diorama down on the bottom across the whole thing, it would be perfect. But like, let's talk about the beauty of this collection though, which is these statues.
Jesus.
They're
crazy. Even his statues are just regular pose. Like there's no dynamic pose, not even in the statue.
That's the shame of it, man.
That's not his fault.
That's not his fault. But if you look over look over at the last slide of statues, he's got that Prime and the Imaginarium Arts Starscream, or they might be both Imaginarium Arts. I can't remember. I think it's XM Prime. But like those are dynamically, sculpted.
That Prime is awesome.
The other ones are sculpted beautifully. And he's got a great setup. Like his statue setup, the Shockwave is is a little awkward because he's like so much bigger than that black backdrop he has. But outside of that, I feel like this guy is like a year away from having like one of the best displays that we've ever seen, because it's like the structure is there for something great. It just hasn't been pushed to its limits yet.
Right. It's all about the backdrop, the lighting, and the content around the figures.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, should this guy have just gone Maji cases?
Probably.
It's almost what he's built.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's built. It's exactly what he's built.
Yeah.
Well, he could get around that with he's got to go Dio now.
Yeah.
And the lights got to change. Those lights look like you're growing plants, man.
No, I'm okay with the lights, but
yeah, I think if you put the black background on the middle shelves there, and then just kind of posed all those guys a little bit, like just more interestingly, I think it's fine.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I think he could get away.
Even just paint the wall. I mean, you could
paint the wall black.
Wall behind
that may be an idea too.
Yeah.
That way the Shockwave does not like popping his head over the.
Yeah, like howdy neighbor. I think that like if he that he's got
you can even paint the white cord black.
Yeah, he's got a room here, I think, also to build a third level.
Yep.
The lighting is wild.
Don't let I think Shockwave's getting in the way for him. That's why he isn't.
Yeah. See, but I understand the complicated problem here, right? Because like you can't put Shockwave where the 2 G1 guys are, because then the 2 G1 guys are going to be with all the movie guys. So you've got to keep them separated, like it's offspring.
I also don't think he would fit. Look how huge the base is.
Yeah. And I think these are all.
What's up with this Alien and Predator statue he's got that he didn't show us?
Yeah, he didn't want to show it. I think he thinks that we don't care about aliens and predators, but I actually would have really liked to have seen that.
Me too, because it looks cool. If you go to like the second to last photo, you can kind of see the top of it.
Yeah.
How much of his problem is the fact that he's displaying Bayverse?
No, I don't think it, like, I hate Bayverse, but I don't. All these statues, they all kind of look like they're like in scale with one another, and it's like they're great quality. I think the statue collection is awesome. I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah, but okay, the his collection's awesome. But what else could he do with these statues to display them better? Because the way they're just one after the other.
I think that's okay. I think it looks sharp and clean. They're just all lined up in a row. They're lit. They have a black backdrop. The one that does look goofy is the Shockwave because he pops up over the top of it. He looks out of scale. And he may be in scale. He just looks out of scale from the rest of them.
Visually, I need jazz to come up, and I feel like you could pretty easily build something out of foam that would just lift that, just to balance that for our eyes. But I also feel like there's like a lot. They're dark statues, so really maybe you can slide those blackboards down to the bottom, and then maybe you do have like a more, I don't know, a different color behind. Maybe not white, but like maybe even like a light gray or something behind them that they don't get as four of them. Like four of them get lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're all silvers.
It's hard to see. I mean, it might be different in the.
You could just light those better though too. That may just be a lighting issue.
And if he does another layer, of shelves, he could move these lights down one, and put another string of lights in up top, and I think the lights would get a little bit more intense on these guys. But the Shockwave is the problem.
Right?
The Shockwave is the problem. But I think this is great. I just think he needs to push it to its next level. The next one is from Scott. A lot of wood, so to speak. I've been here.
Yes, you have.
To this house?
No, I've been at this exact place with my collection.
Oh, yeah.
They're not horribly spaced, but there's a lot of them, and there's nothing like it somehow it ends up just looking like a bunch of stuff on a shelf. It's like I feel for this dude because I've been there.
There's so many things on the top.
But that too. Which that doesn't.
Dude, it gets to the point when it's like this where I feel like I'm walking through like a flea market.
Yeah.
You know when you've ever been like a flea market, one of those toy booths that they have, and it's just so much stuff.
Yep, I do know what you mean.
And then, not digging the busts.
You guys are bust haters.
So my issue is not with the bus. My issue is with the smorgasbord of furniture. He's got black billies, he's got wood billies looking things, he's got, your Target looking shelves, he's got, Nana's China cabinet, he's got it's such a hodgepodge grouping of furniture.
This is for everybody. This is the test. You have too many figures if when you're dusting, you don't even pick them up, you just dust around their feet.
Very, very interesting, pragmatic statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I think the problem is that he's got so much stuff, and if he really wants to display all this stuff, he's going to have to upgrade the space that he's working with. The only other option is what I think he should do, which he may not want to hear, but is to just downgrade some of this. Ask yourself, how much of this do I really need out at once?
I agree. He needs details.
But this is my thing. It looks like a big room. It looks like he has room. So it's time for you to really do something with your, you have to kind of look at some furniture and figure out a lane in which you're going because you have space.
And he's got stuff, and he's got a masterpiece collection, a chug collection.
Got stuff.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that's anyone's problem.
Yeah, it's
fair. No one's problem that they don't have stuff.
But he has some interesting stuff too. These statues, like that Unicron statue, I think is actually kind of a big deal. If you look down at the bottom shelf,
that's cool.
Of the bus, cool. He's got some really cool. It's just that the way his stuff is out makes his stuff seem less, even though there's more.
Lost in the sauce.
Dude, those busts could be cool. This isn't the display form. I think for those busts to be cool, you almost have to display them on a shelf high, like Bobby, how you have some of your marble figures on the floating shelf around the rim of your.
Yeah, I used to, but I also think that I think they
just need to be at a high angle like that, so it looks like you can't see over the.
Yeah, so I have a fair amount of busts. They're on the highest shelf, and they look fantastic.
I don't know. I think busts are bullshit. They're garbage. They're bull statues. Don't make them the centerpiece. But you're known as lighted wish list, cabinet.
No, but there's a charm to it, man, and you can't judge the display off of whether or not you like the piece. You know what I mean? I like these busts a lot more than I like a lot of this chuggish ruggish stuff he's got. This whole top shelf, he's got He-Man figures from one side to the other, and even there's some impressive pieces in there. If you look in the middle of the bookshelf, there is a guy with two chains across his chest.
Are you serious right now?
At the top, that's the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure pit. like that's a pricey figure. That's a nice figure, but like it just gets lost in the sea of things. Yeah, unfortunately, the you have some really nice pieces, but because you have so many pieces, it's like it's back to that Batman thing. The more you have, the less they're worth.
And that's what you have to go through. You have to go, all right, it's time to be selective. You know what I mean? You don't need all of it. You just need the best stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need.
And I was going to say, and I think when I forced him to toy with that idea, like he just put stuff like away. Right? You didn't give it away. Yeah. You didn't sell it. You just
get rid of it.
Put it away and then like lived with it and realized you didn't miss it, you know? And
another exercise that I did that I like, we took everything off of a shelf and put it on the Warhammer table at the time, and then did an exercise of keep putting one piece back until you're content, you know? And when we did it shelf by shelf, and more often than not, there was like 5 to 8 things on every shelf that I've realized I was better off with them not being on the shelf. Mm-hmm. All right, Tony R. This is
Tony. Are you serious? With this color of paint on your wall,
dude. When I saw it, I thought of Cameron: red slippers, red room, red mop, red broom. Dude, he has like a police baton. Is that a police baton?
It's molding.
Dude, go to Skylinks. For some reason, that pose of Skylinks makes it look like he's laughing like like one of those laughs.
No, it's
He's like,
I don't know why that Skylinks looks like that.
Bobby loves that. Like Bobby loves good.
Yeah, that's it. He's doing.
I want to start with the positives. Okay,
Red Rob.
I love the stuff with the consoles. I love the little you got all the consoles there. I feel like they're all in service, that you could make it happen if you wanted to. Like, I dig all that. My only issue with this picture of your consoles, which I do love, is how much trash you really putting away every week in this room, man. Get a smaller trash bin. You don't need this big trash can over there.
Oh, a little flippy top trash.
I feel like you bought this shelf that had the red lining and just decided to run wild with the red. The red's a lot.
The red's pretty intense.
I don't know that the red is the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think it's doing you any favors. I think it works for the console stuff, especially because the furniture matches it and everything, like you were saying, Jis.
Right.
But like when you start getting into the toys, it makes it look messy and busy, and it already kind of looks a little busy.
Ooh. You could leave that wall as an accent wall, but then I'd paint these other ones. And then I do want to know, I don't know how you can, but what is it with the black tape on the ceiling? What does it hide? I know it's probably hiding wires, but wires to what?
All those consoles.
I like
maybe.
I like the comic book with the toys.
There's a better way to do that too, though. You know, like get it framed, get it like, you know, because it just kind of looks like it's like taped to the wall almost.
Pinned, push pin. But the Transformers are a mess.
Yeah, the Transformers are a mess.
But they're just crowded. They're so crowded.
Oh my God.
And all the colors are busy on that red wall.
Yeah, the red isn't doing any of those pieces.
When you have red walls and glass shelves, you lose the beauty of the glass. Like, you don't appreciate the fact that you've got these pretty glass shelves. And
did I tell you that Robert was going to love the shelves? Robert, I said while you were in the bathroom you were going to love the shelves.
Before Laura says anything, I know what Laura's favorite aspect of this collection is. Hands down.
Of course.
Seekers on fishing line.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't work. It looks junky.
She loves it. Laura, what do you think?
I do. I love it. I get that they're like sideways because they're flying, but for some reason I guess that's because you want to see them, right? Like if you have them flat, then you're going to be looking at the belly of the jet.
I do like that you have like on the Centurion shelves, and Laura, I know you said this. I do like that you have the comic book behind it. It just isn't like, if you're going to do that and you're going to keep those red walls, then those comic books need to be in like a thicker black frame. Mm-hmm. You need something to offset the.
Dude, your red walls need to go.
Yeah, they need to go, buddy.
Messing it up, and I'm sorry because I think it's a point of pride for you.
But I don't think the shelves. I don't think the shelves need to go.
No, the shelves are gorgeous. I love floating shelves.
I know.
And these are nice floating shelves. These are not floating shelves of brackets sticking out down low under them. These are nice floating shelves, and it's lost in the sauce because of these freaking blood red wedding walls.
And there's also there's a posing issue here too. Like if you look at like his Decepticon masterpieces with Megatron and Shockwave and the Stunticons from Fans Toys and all, like they're all arms down, head forward, feet straight, get ready. You know, stand.
This is a problem. He's dealing with clutter.
Yep.
Because the problem with floating shelves is they do not offer that much space. They provide lateral space, but they're not usually very deep.
Look at how he posed Red Alert, all sassy. He's got a hand up on the hip.
Well, sassy alert. I'm looking at that right now.
You got a sass alert.
Is that a beachcomber next to him?
But look at the Autobot movie bots. It looks like RC went to a wax museum of Autobot movie bots and took a picture with all the wax sculptures.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
So I think we agree that maybe the red walls, which is going to be a to paint over,
it's too much.
Is maybe not the best choice. I think the shelves could potentially look nice. They can't have that many things on them. They need some levels. They need some poses. They need some
pizzazz.
Look at Laura moving a long face.
She's right though.
She is.
All right, so the next one I have down in my notes as Naba, but I'm going to guess that is a typo and that this gentleman's name is actually Noah. And I'm sending that one through. This is our last one for the evening. I feel like this is a good one to close on because I feel like this guy used to be the first guy and he took down a bunch of that he didn't need, and now he's kind of hard-boiled the good stuff left.
Playing with the layers.
This dude spent hours adjusting his shelf height.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some care went into it, but I still feel like you have the same problem where it's just too much stuff. The lighting's right. The light brown shelves, like, I don't think are the way to go either. Just the color, not necessarily the shelves that you have.
You're right. You can't.
He's got glass on them.
Yeah. And the boxes on top.
Yeah, get rid of the boxes. Get rid of the boxes and put nicer figures up there. You could save yourself a little wiggle room with some of these shelves by putting some nicer figures up there.
Some busts.
And everybody should know too. Like, look, you're dealing with all of these colors that are with these characters that have these bright colors.
Yeah,
you need black or white furniture. You just need a neutral color furniture that's going to make the color of whatever you're displaying shine.
So he's got the two main shelves, right, with the G1 stuff, and then he's got this other shelf with like a hodgepodge of these little miniature things and everything else. And I feel like that's the stuff that harkens back more to the first guy, where he needs to kind of get rid of some of that.
The Iron Factory stuff.
Yeah, it's just too busy.
Cluttered.
And then he's got like the little miniature. I don't know if you guys remember those little miniature PVC like plastic transformer things. So, and now here's the thing with this one, the glass is on both sides, and I bet you it doesn't look great when it's closed. You got to be careful with like everybody's so scared of dust. Here's my thing. I'm just going to get this out of the way. If you are that concerned with dust on your figures, you need to get a Maja case. Like, stop around, because there's nothing that's going to look as good if you try to jerry-rig something together in order for it to look decent to try to protect yourself from a little dust. It always ends up looking distracting. If you want the dust-free environment, get yourself a Maja case. If you don't want to spend the money on the Maja case, get rid of the glass doors on your bookshelf. I understand that it's a big deal for a lot of people. I would argue that you don't need to worry. It just makes me sound horrible, but you don't need to worry about dust on your $12 deluxe figure. Ooh. Just wipe the dust off of it, because it doesn't look good with these big glass doors on a bookshelf. It's like you're putting the cart before the horse. Like if you need that like super crisp, clean display space, I get it, and I even get it for the $12 figure. But okay, go Maja case then. And if you don't want to go Maja case, stop worrying about the dust. I will say this: I don't think that he needs Maja cases. I think Maja cases are the wrong choice for him. I'm saying if he is that worried about dust where he wants to put dual glass doors on a bookshelf, then he should just go the full length and get a Maja case. I think that if the guy in the beginning was like phase 1, where you realize you've got too much stuff for the furniture you have, he has moved on to the next space and been like, okay, I've narrowed it down, I've boiled it down a little bit, it looks a little bit more presentable, and now I think that he needs to make a decision as to what he wants to do, whether boil it down a little bit more or go for something really fancy.
Okay, some foam.
I want to see Skylinks going.
There you go. That's a good one.